My name is Sumaya Dagestani. I'm a fourth year Plan 2 in International Relations and Global Studies double major.
My name is Tanya Ragu. I'm a senior majoring in Plan 2 Honors Middle Eastern Studies and Arabic.
My name is Kasara. I'm a junior at UT, and my majors are business, sustainability studies, geography, and I'm also in the humanities program.
My name is Abby Partridge. I'm currently a fourth year, and I'm studying Plan 2 Honors with Sumaya and Tanya, and I'm also in environmental engineering and chemistry.
We were in Jordan for 2 weeks.
Our team ended up going to Jordan for the President's Award for Global Learning.
So we had to pitch a project to a country anywhere in the world that was feasible to visit, and Jordan was the natural fit.
When choosing our country, we kind of thought about different places, and we chose Jordan for a number of reasons. We first wanted to do work in the Middle East in general. The Middle East and North Africa was our region of interest. And so when we were thinking about where can sustainability really, where is that conversation happening, and where can we, learn from, and where can we contribute to that conversation of conservation and sustainability, Jordan just felt like a natural partner.
I was more of the technical role on the team. I did a lot of the logistics work. I actually planned the hourly schedule, when we would wake up every day. I worked very closely with the University of Jordan students to figure out what site visits and what field visits would make sense for us to go to. And then a lot of the logistics regarding, the symposium and what materials do we need to have beforehand, does the computer have the right adapter? Can it connect to Wi-Fi? Small things like that you wouldn't think of that are important for things to go smoothly.
Because I was more familiar with the culture, because I knew some Arabic as well as I'd been to Jordan before, I felt more comfortable in the cultural environment. So I was really able to focus on building relationships and communicating with the Jordanians. So that was my role, was just communicating with the UJ team, making sure that everyone was kind of on the same page, and then helping out with operations here and there.
I have a couple different roles. On one end, I do a lot of the green fund stuff. So I did a lot of research on different green fund mechanisms, how they're financed, how they work, with the goal of implementing them while we were in Jordan for their Green Innovation Fund. And then on the second end of it, I did a lot of the media for our green fund project as well. So I'm in charge of the podcast currently, and then a lot of photos and video stuff as well. So I recorded the footage from our trip in Jordan, and I also lectured during the boot camp on campus sustainability and green funds.
I'm the cultural lead of our project and our team. My region of interest is the Middle East, and I'm also Syrian American. So as an Arab American, I have that understanding of both cultures. And so really my goal throughout the project was to kind of be the one to kind of bridge those cultural gaps and navigating language barriers, being able to speak Arabic with both our Jordanian counterparts, the actual team, and then also while we were in Jordan, just the general population, I felt was really helpful. More specifically in terms of the elements, I took charge of the focus groups. I conducted and organized the focus groups here at UT, and then I helped facilitate them at the University of Jordan, and I've transcribed, I've translated, I've just really worked hard on making sure that we have as much information from that as possible. So our Jordan team is comprised primarily of 2 faculty members. We have Dr. Ashraf Bani Muhammad he's the head of the center, the Innovation Entrepreneurship Center at the University of Jordan, and so he's the director of that. We also worked with Dr. Lina Hayari. She is also from the University of Jordan Entrepreneurship and Innovation Entrepreneurship Center, and she was really great in all the logistics and making sure everything was planned, and just kind of, she's really good at getting things done and helping us move our process forward.
It was honestly amazing. So we worked with 4 students. There's Rahaf, Mustafa, Muhammad, and Khalid.
Each of them had their strengths, and it was really kind of great to see how their strengths complemented our strengths, and they were, the students and the faculty and staff were such great hosts that even before we were in Jordan, their willingness to kind of welcome us into their campus life and into their community and really walk us through everything was so great and so, really like comforting to work with, because as I mentioned earlier, like working in an international project logistically is so difficult, and so having willing partners who want to walk you through this process is so amazing. And we always say this to them, but it would be amazing if we can one day host them here in Austin, kind of do the same for them and continue this project in that way. But they're all really great people.
My high was definitely like meeting our Jordanian undergraduate team in person. They're some of the nicest people I've ever met. Just hanging out with them like outside of the project, and it made working with them in the project so much easier and effective.
I feel like at first there was a little bit of trepidation and uncertainty in terms of how are we going to communicate with this new team. It's been really strange to work with them for over a year on Zoom, but it just took us like a little bit of warming up to really get to know them. And as the days went on by, the middle of the first week, we were already really great friends with all the Jordanians. We did not expect to get so close to them during the short period of 2 weeks, but we realized that, they're not very different from us. We had so much in common.
The first time we met them is a little awkward, but once we actually started to hang out a little bit outside of the project, or even on the project, we got to know each other a little bit better. We became we're actual friends on top of being, I guess, co-workers would be the right word, but I don't think we could have had a better team.
It was a whirlwind of events. We did really intensive schedules, like 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. Got as much as we could from the time we were there. It was really, really great. And it was such a great experience overall, but just getting to Jordan and seeing the country, in the material, right, was so fascinating. I often, and I think this can go for everyone. When you think about the Middle East, we think about these long stretches of desert and sand, and, there definitely is that. There are beautiful deserts that are fascinating, and you see the richness of desert culture in Jordan. But then there's also so much more of that greenery, and there's forests up in the north, and there's mountains all throughout. I think that, in terms of the physical landscape, I was so shocked to see, how even the city was so mountainous and the ups and downs, and it wasn't as flat, I think, as maybe Texas is. This may seem, a kind of a shallow assessment of Jordan, right? But I think it speaks so much more to the value of international travel and international projects, because when you work on something, you have this perception and you have this idea that you function with, right? And we're talking about environmental sustainability, and so thinking about something as only a desert directly impacts the kind of ideas we would have for environmental sustainability in Jordan, right? But then when you get there and you see, oh my gosh, they have waterfalls, they have green forests, and it's mountainous. Being in the country provides such a different perspective that directly impacts the kind of work that we would think about. And so that just speaks to the value of exposing oneself to more and just exploring the world. My biggest takeaway, I think, from the project as a whole is really the value in building relationships and connections, building those connections with those individuals and team members in Jordan, and even here between the team ourselves here in Austin. I think there's so much value in the work that we will be able to do and we have been able to do would not have been possible without that cohesion and that teamwork and really that willingness to understand one another and work together towards a common goal.
Yeah, this project really showed me the value of collaboration and how important it is to prioritize relationships in these types of settings to get good quality work done.
I feel like it reaffirmed my understanding already of how important and powerful, study abroad programs are. I didn't realize how much you can learn like in a short period of time versus a long period of time in the classroom, whether that's language, understanding of the people, the history, bits you pick up from just talking to the locals. Those are so important, and I think that, UT investing more, money, resources, time into making these like a reality for students can go a really long way.
I think the President's Award for Global Learning in itself is so beautiful because it provides that opportunity and it facilitates this really difficult process of finding where to go and what you would be doing. And, I think there is that barrier to access on so many levels, but being through a university program allows you to kind of explore the world in a structure that is easier to navigate. And so, but yeah, I think it's just a really good opportunity that I would encourage anyone really to pursue if they have the chance to.
It is so incredibly important to keep this program alive and going. Hopefully, in future years, students are able to benefit from something like this too, because all four of us can attest to how big of an impact it's had on our lives and our careers at UT, just because we were able to work with faculty mentors so closely, have this relationship with students across the world, and then learn so much along the way because it was really a student-led initiative. So more programs that put students at the center of it really have a tremendous impact on the rest of their lives.
There's so many people that we have to thank, from Texas Global to the specific Department of President's Award for Global Learning.
I would like to say thank you to my faculty members, Dr. Valletta, Atkinson, and Dr. Eaton. They've shown us so much guidance and wisdom throughout all of this, and definitely wouldn't have been possible without them.
And then also just the University of Jordan for hosting us. And there are so many other people that I'm forgetting right now, but
thank you, I guess, to everyone here at UT who supported us in the President's Award and the Green Fund, Office of Sustainability and Texas Global, and then the same at the University of Jordan, particularly the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship at the University of Jordan for their support throughout it all.